afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News, the headlines. SESTUZ recommends a psychosocial counseling for teachers left out in the recruitment process. Zambia to establish the biggest nickel mine. Join me with the details after this commercial.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry.
There's so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the media news in detail. Zambia's Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has announced that Zambia will soon commence works on the biggest nickel mine in Africa. Speaking at the Private Sector Day in Lusaka Monday, President Hichilema says this is a great opportunity for the private sector to tap into and support government's agenda of economic development and job creation through private-public partnerships.
Following the launch of the Public-Private Dialogue Forum by Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema in April of 2022, the first meeting to mark the Private Sector Day has been held in Lusaka Monday. Different stakeholders from different parts of the country met in Lusaka at the Molongoshi Conference Center to mark the Day of the Private Sector. And Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema, who was guest of honor at the event, has praised the private sector for its contribution to the development of the country. The President also took advantage of the forum to announce that Zambia will be launching the biggest nickel mine on the African continent next month.
For your information, colleagues sitting here, in a month or so, we'll be launching work on the largest nickel mine on the African continent. Here, in your land, the largest nickel mine on the African continent. We want to see this work, this platform to now say, what does that mean to us?
And President Hichilema has warned statutory bodies and quasi-government institutions in the country to stop making money by killing small businesses due to overcharging them.
I sent a message here, Secretary of Cabinet, you are here, to just alert this platform that I've set a date to meet all the statutory heads, quasi-government institutions. I am seeing luxury spending there. I'm watching. I'm seeing luxury spending. And probably that's why they want fees to be charged in this way, so that they can buy the latest cars in the market. We're not there for that.
The President also took advantage of the forum to propose that the country should move from constructing roads using asphalt to constructing concrete roads.
I am mooting the idea of moving away from asphalt to concrete roads. So we need you engineers to wake up. In China, they are doing concrete roads. I'm told they last longer if they are done of good quality. They have no potholes. Here, you do a road, you saw it in the last 7 years. They are doing a road in front, behind the road is developing potholes.
Meanwhile, the International Financial Corporation has signed a $500 million United States investment agreement with the Zambian government to improve investment in the Public-Private Dialogue Forum.
It's one of the most open dialogues that I've seen, and it's just at the beginning. And one thing I've learned also is that private sector in general and public sector also are not very patient. We all want to move fast. We all want to have results very quickly. But as was said this morning very rightly, so Rome was not built in one day. Neither was Lusaka. So I'm sure it will take some time. But I see the progress and I see the direction.
The government has also taken advantage of the forum to announce the names of the steering committee of the forum who have been drawn from different public and private sector. Moving forward, the UPND administration has appealed to Zambian businesses to take up huge investment opportunities that are currently happening in the country. Prudence Chota Reporting for Camnet TV News.
Some teachers who have been left out of the recent 30,000 teacher recruitment exercise by government have questioned what criteria was used to conduct the recruitment, stating that some have been serving as volunteer teachers for over 10 years. In an interview, one of the aggrieved teachers, Mr. Roy Chia, who is a teacher at Vole Primary in Luono district of Central Province, says he has been volunteering since graduating 10 years ago and even used his personal resources to contribute towards construction of teachers' houses and classrooms at his school.
On 15th July 2022, the Ministry of Education announced the recruitment of 30,496 teachers into the civil service. Out of these teachers, 59% were women, 41% male, and 196 being persons with disabilities. This has brought a lot of disappointment as the Ministry of Education indicates that over 100,000 teachers applied, meaning that over 70,000 people have been disappointed. We spoke to some teachers in Lusaka who are demanding to know what criteria was used, because some of them say that they finished maybe 10 years ago but they have not been recruited, in comparison to some people who finished only 2 years ago. Among them is Mr. Roy Chia, who is a teacher at Vole Primary School in Luano constituency, who says he has been volunteering at that school and even constructed some teachers' houses and classrooms, and so wonders how come he has been left out.
They can't shut my dream, they can't shut my career like this. I need to be considered on this one. I have all the phone numbers for the debts for everyone. The PTA chairperson, I have the contact details to verify this. I really want to go back to my school because I was the teacher in charge that side. The school was handed over to the government under my watch. We made sure that there were staff houses were built. 1x3 classroom block was built under my watch as a school head. But the government, by then, they brought in government teachers, leaving us out.
We spoke to another teacher, Miss Regina Mulinga, who says that private schools are not motivating because they pay as low as 800 kwacha.
I even left the school where I used to work because of the little that I was getting. It could not suffice to support the family. You know, getting 800 kwacha in the what? In the private school. Right now, I'm just a trader with 4 children, with a family to support. Imagine, I'm just selling tomatoes alongside the load.
A human rights activist, Mr. Francis Kamwena, states that civic leaders have a duty of maybe assuring the constituency members who have been left out.
These are the people who voted for them. They should also come and motivate them. They should also come in and see why some of them have been left. Because according to some of the stories which I'm getting, is that some of them, they were even doing some volunteering. You know, some of them, they were even told where you were doing your volunteering, you should apply there. But instead, it might be also the wrong direction where they were given. Because some of them is like where they were applying, there were a lot of competition.
Camnet News also spoke to the Secondary School Teachers Union of Zambia, SESTUZ, General Secretary Mr. Sitibekso Wamuyua, who says that teachers who have been left out need counseling.
The people that have been left out this year need more counseling, social counseling, than those that were left out in the previous recruitments. Yes. They need more counseling. Because everybody thought I was going to be one of the people who were going to be picked. But the reality is that we had more than 100,000 applicants, and the available space was only for 30,000. What happened to the 70,000?
Camnet News will reach out to the Ministry of Education to actually find out what criteria was used and to get answers that many people are demanding for. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Council of Non-Governmental Organizations in Zambia chairperson McDonald Jipenzi says the appointment of civil society into government positions does not threaten democracy, stating that those who call for integrity should be given a chance to practice what they preach for the development of the nation. Speaking to Camnet News, Mr. Jipenzi adds that what is important is to rise up a new cadre of people who will hold the government of the day to account on their promises and also to the law.
Civil society, just like many actors on the governance space such as the media, play the role of a watchdog and keep the government of the day accountable. These prevent the abuse of authority by advocating for good governance and also advocating for the freedom of speech, expression, assembly, and other basic rights. In democratic countries like Zambia, civil society also educates the general citizenry on their duties as citizens, such as the duty to participate in elections. The recent appointment of some civil society leaders by the current administration has raised concerns among stakeholders on the governance scene, who say that the survival of Zambia's democracy may be under threat due to this, stating that few people will be left to hold the government of the day accountable. In an interview, Council of Non-Governmental Organizations chairperson Mr. McDonough Chipenzi, however, charges that this does not threaten the country's democracy.
We want to see those who are preaching morals to be brought into government so that those morals they are preaching in church can be practiced in real governance setup. It is very, very, very disappointing that most of these people that are caught up with corruption are the same people who are preaching morals in church. Okay? These people now who are found in money laundering sagas, they are the same people who are talking about the rule of law. Lawyers. They are the ones now who are found, who are being cited in the FIC report. Traditional leaders, politicians. So, when you bring up people who claim to say, oh, accountability, okay, Mwana, very good, you are PS. Let's see. And tomorrow, the same person who was preaching accountability is found being unaccountable, getting involved in corruption. Then it will show you that some people are just hypocrites.
He adds that Zambia needs people of integrity in leadership positions if to develop, further stating that what is important is for a new generation of civil society leaders to rise and fill the vacancy.
So what we need is just a grooming process so that as we are leaving, others are also coming up and encourage them to be as strong as possible. So we just need to create a legal framework and a legal environment that allows the sprouting of new civic activists while others are retiring and taking up positions so that they demonstrate what they were preaching.
Zambia's democratic status demands for the creation of a free civic space where different stakeholders can air their diverse views on governance issues. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Some Lusaka mobile money operators have gone against the local government's directive of not establishing trading points at undesignated places. A check by Camnet News has revealed that the mobile money operators are now reinstalling their mobile booths along Lumumba Road and Simon Mwewa Lane sites, which were not affected by the recent removal of booths by the Lusaka City Council.
Who's legitimately operating a telephone booth and has been asked to remove in undesignated areas will be indemnified with another. I think that should be an underlying factor.
This assurance was made on Monday, 11th July 2022. However, some mobile money operators in Lusaka's Central Business District have resorted to remounting the booths in places which were not affected during the demolition exercise. Those who have resorted to the decision of mounting their booths along Simon Mwewa Lane and Lumumba Road state that this is the only option they have to help themselves earn a living.
Everything, that's when you're going to tell us, okay, there, you're going to stay there, this one, you're going to stay there. And it's not right because we have been using our own money to buy these boots.
Okay, can I speak now?
No, you cannot speak because I'm still speaking.
Okay.
And right now, I'm very upset because a lot of stuff they have been destroyed. Like mabuti ya wampiwa mbili nongeka in the name of we are cleaning. I don't even know the means of cleaning a kutini bitan. You understand? So are they going to pay them back? I'm asking you, are they going to pay them back?
Well, Gary and Combo did say that they're going to be compensated.
Okay, we're going to wait for that.
Yeah.
We're going to wait for that. And actually,
okay, now, first of all, let me tell you, you're not the only voter. We voted as well. Everybody, excuse me, can I speak now?
Okay,
I'll let you speak. Okay, you're not the only voter, we all voted. And this has nothing to do with voting. When the government leads, when the government says we need to have a cleaner environment by placing booths strategically, okay, properly, not a place where businesses are obstructed, not a place where you've got filth everywhere, not a place where a booth is being used as a urinary and a toilet.
No.
Listen,
okay, can you show me one?
excuse me, I'm talking, you were talking. Sister, you were speaking. Let me speak.
Yes,
okay?
You can show the people this.
No, hold on a second.
Close the booth.
No, let me.
So, I'm wondering
what do you mean always closed? People always urinate in the back. That's a fact. No.
However, Lusaka businessman Simon Chitambala says the unsystematic way of mounting the booths, especially in trading places, is inconvenient.
That installing booths haphazardly hampers businesses is, I mean, you have, imagine for a moment, a business owner, a man who owns a building, or a woman that owns a building here in the CBD. That man has a lot of statutory obligations. They pay water, electricity, ground rates, rent, ZESCO, employees. And yet you have someone who brings a booth and they put the booth right in front of the doorstep of their building. What that does is...
Mr. Chitambala has pleaded with the local authority to beef up monitoring mechanisms in the CBD, alleging that suspected cadres are involved in the illegal allocation of trading places, while Opposition Acting Patriotic Front President Given Lubinda has maintained that the removal of booths is unprogressive to the country.
Why should we go and import prefabricated booths when our own metal workers can do them as well as they are? If you go and consult the PF manifesto, you will see that therein we actually pledged that we shall encourage those operators to operate from well-designed, home-designed, home-constructed booths.
Meanwhile, Local Government Permanent Secretary in charge of administration, Mambo Hamaundu, denies allegation of cadres being involved and warned the mobile operators to desist from doing so.
I think that people must not take the law into their hand. We have local authorities across the country. There are actually 116 local authorities across the country. And looking at Lusaka particularly, there's Lusaka City Council. So anyone who needs trading a place must go to Lusaka City Council. The issue of cadres allocating land is neither here nor there. It is illegal. Anyone who's getting land from a cadre, anyone who's being allocated a trading place from a cadre is doing so at their own risk, because cadres are not the local authorities.
The wait continues among the mobile money operators on when the compensation will be a reality. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News in Lusaka.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Media News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. SESTUZ recommends psychosocial counseling for teachers left out in the recruitment process. Zambia to establish the biggest nickel mine. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.